There are thousands of AI tools that you can use to create an AI chatbot for a business. And as a beginner, this can feel pretty overwhelming. So in this video, I will give you the best AI chatbot tools in 2024. And for each of these tools, I will break down the main features, the pros, the cons, the pricing, and most importantly, when you should use it. Let's get started. So before we're going to look at the specific platforms that I would recommend in 2024, I will first quickly talk about the four main things that we will be looking at. So the first thing that we will be looking at is ease of use. How easy is it to use a platform? And I know from personal experience with my own clients that if a platform is not easy to use, then it will not be used to the best extent in a business. So ease of use is extremely important. The second thing that we will be looking at are the AI features. What AI features does the platform provide? Can we create a knowledge base that is trained on your website or on documents? Can we understand the intent of users? Can we use entities, so understand specific parts of a sentence? Like, what AI features does the platform has? Then the third thing that we will be looking at are channels and integrations. On what channels can we publish the chatbot? So is it on the website, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, you name it? And can we integrate the chatbot with other tools using an API or a Zapier connection or a Make.com connection, like any of that? And the last thing that we will be looking at is pricing. How much do you need to pay each month for the platform and what value do you get for that? So those are the four main things that we will be looking at. And here's the first platform that I would recommend in 2024, and that is Chatbase. So Chatbase is a great AI tool if you're either a small business or when you're just starting out with using AI tools. And what's so great about Chatbase is that it is so easy to use. Like with Chatbase, you can just give Chatbase a bunch of website URLs or a bunch of documents, and then Chatbase can train itself on it and then automatically answer any questions about it. So here we are inside Chatbase, and as you can see, I already created a chatbot. And then if we go to sources, then this chatbot has been trained on this document. And this is just a very simple document, a knowledge-based document about an e-commerce business. And what's great about Chatbase is then you can just go to the chatbot here, and then you can just have a talk with it. So here I can say, what is your return policy? And this is something that is answered in that document. And then it's automatically can answer this. So you can say you can return your items within 14 days after delivery. And then, for example, I can say, what are your delivery terms? And then it says, if you create an order before 3, it will be shipped from our warehouse within 2 business days. And then we can say, and what are your warranty conditions? And it says, if your product is broken within 8 weeks of ordering it, you will get a full refund. So as you can see, Chatbase can answer these questions pretty good. But what's great about Chatbase is that you can easily revise the answers. And this is honestly a feature that I don't see in many other AI tools. And I think that's why Chatbase is so great. So if you go above and then you go to the dashboard, then here we have the chat logs. And in the chat logs, you can see each and every conversation someone had with your Chatbase chatbot. And what's so great about this is that you can easily revise the answer. So what you can do here is you can just click here on revise answer if you think this answer wasn't good. And then you can just fill in a different answer. And then Chatbase can automatically learn from that. And I think this is perfect because I've even used this with my own clients, because I can just create a chatbot, train the chatbot on a bunch of URLs or a bunch of documents, and then I can just say to my client, hey, you need to go to Chatbase, have a talk with the chatbot and revise the answers where needed. And this is great, and because it's so easy to use, like even my clients with not much technical experience, they can use this platform. And that's what makes Chatbase so extremely good. Because with other AI tools, you often need to change the prompt or you need to change the data that has been trained on. With Chatbase, we can just click on revise answer and you can just revise the answer and then that's done. Then pricing. So Chatbase has a free forever plan, and this plan comes with 20 message credits. So this only allows you to basically test out their platform. It comes with one chatbot and the chatbot can be trained on 400,000 characters. So basically test out the platform and look whether it works for you. If you think that it works for you, then you can just go with the hobby plan that costs $90 a month. Then you get 2,000 message credits, you get 2 chatbots, and each chatbot can be trained on 11 million characters, and you also get API access and integrations. And what's also great about Chatbase is that you can tailor this plan specifically to your needs. Because normally what you should do if you want more than this, you just need to go to the next plan. But with Chatbase, what you can actually do is you can just buy more message credits, or you can buy more chatbots, or you can remove the branding, or you can use custom domains. So you can actually buy these add-ons and you don't necessarily need to move to the next plan. And with Chatbase, you can basically create a chatbot and launch it on your website or launch it on Slack. And Chatbase also has an API and you can connect it by using Zapier or Make. And I actually have a video on my YouTube channel where I connected Chatbase with ManyChat, so you can use the Chatbase features in your ManyChat bot. But this is also one of the drawbacks of Chatbase, because if you are integrating Chatbase with Make.com or Zapier or their API, it doesn't remember the conversation history. So then each question that you send to Chatbase is actually considered as a separate conversation. And that's not something that you want. So if you want an AI tool that always keeps track and remembers the conversation history, then you should have a look at Cody. So Cody is an AI tool that is also extremely user-friendly, just like Chatbase, but it always remembers the conversation history, whether you're creating a chatbot and just publish it on your website, or whether you're integrating it with the API or Zapier or Make. So now we are inside Cody, and when you get started with Cody, the first thing that you need to do is you need to add knowledge. So that's basically where you can add documents, we can upload them, we can import website URLs. And what I think is so great about Cody and the knowledge part is that you can divide your knowledge into folders. So let's say you're a large company, then you can have one folder for customer support, one for HR, one for IT support. Like, you can separate all of that, and that keeps your knowledge pretty structured. Or it can also be that you have multiple businesses or multiple clients and you just want one Cody account to manage all of that. And with Cody, that's perfectly possible because we can divide that into these folders. So here again, I already created a folder with e-commerce biz, and it has been trained on the same document as with Chatbase. And for example, I already created another folder that has like other knowledge in that. So when you get started with Cody, you can just click on bots, and then here click on new bot, and we can just give it a name. So I will just call this e-commerce business bot. Then you can determine the model, so I'll just leave this to 3.5. And then you can determine the personality. And this is great about Cody, and especially if you're a beginner, then you can just use one of these personalities that Cody already created. So for example, you have the factual one that only uses information from the knowledge base. You have creative, you have marketing, you have technical support. You have all these pre-built personalities, which is great if you're just starting out. So for now, I would just go with the factual one. I give it a nickname, so that will be the same, so the e-commerce business bot. And then we can determine how it should handle questions that it doesn't know the answer to. So you can choose for nothing or choose for best guess. For now, I'll just go with nothing. And then you can determine the knowledge that it needs to be trained on. So you can say we need to use everything, or we can say we are going to use specific folders. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then I'm going to click on create. And now the bot is created. And what's so good about Cody is that it is extremely user-friendly for beginners, but you can also get pretty advanced if you have more experience with AI tools. So here you can just click on switch to advanced mode, and then you click on yes, I know what I'm doing. Only do this if you know what you're doing. Click on this. And then you get more information. So then you get the prompt, then you get the system prompt, and then you can also have the relevance score. So what data it will be using, so whether it will be using a wide range of data or a very narrow range of data. And then you can also determine the token distribution. So you can determine how much of the prompt it will be using for context, how much it will be using for history, how much it will be using for response. And again, this is pretty advanced. This is also another feature that I haven't seen in many other AI tools. So here, for example, we can say, well, we want to use the context for 50% and the history for, I don't know, 23% and response for 27%. Let's say that. So you can perfectly tailor this to your own needs, and you can actually get pretty advanced with this if needed. If you don't want to do that, you can just go with one of these personalities. And once you have created this, you can just go to chat, then click on new conversation, and then you need to determine what bot you will be talking with. So that will be the e-commerce business bot. And then we can ask the same question. So then we can say, what is your return policy? And then it says the return policy states that customers can return items within 14 days after delivery. And then we can say, okay, how can I track my order, for example? and it says you can track your order by checking the track and trace code provided to you. And then here you can also give feedback on these answers. So for example, here you can say it was helpful, and then you can also give additional feedback. So we can say it was correct, was easy to understand, was creative, all of that stuff. And you can also say it was not helpful, and then you can say I didn't like the style, it was not factually correct, didn't follow instructions. And it's also good to know that with Cody, you can only provide this feedback. It's not possible to revise the answers as we can do with Chatbase. We can only get the additional feedback, which is great, and Cody can also learn from that as well. And Cody also has a really good free plan, and the free plan is actually better than the free plan of Chatbase. So if you want to get started with Cody, you get 250 credits per month, you get 100 documents, and you get a free widget for your website. And then once you get started, if you want to have more, then for $29 a month, you get 2,500 credits, 3 bots, you get 1,000 documents, you can embed the website widget and customize it to your needs, and you also get access to the API. So you can also connect it to any other tool that you might be using. And with Cody, you can publish a chatbot on your website, on Slack, and on Discord. And as I just said, you can just use the API or use make.com or use Zapier to connect it with another chatbot platform that you might be using. But with both Chatbase and Cody, you can only train a chatbot on text. You can train it on documents, or you can train it on website URLs. If you want to create a chatbot that can be trained on audio and video, then you should have a look at Custom GPT. So with Custom GPT, you can train your chatbot on text, but you can also train it on YouTube videos or audio recordings or podcasts, like any of that kind. And I think this is really interesting for creators. So creators often have a lot of podcast recordings, a lot of content, video content. And what you can do is you can basically just go to Custom GPT, fill in those audio recording, podcast episodes or YouTube URLs, and then Custom GPT can automatically train itself on that. And this can actually save you a lot of time, because what you normally should do is you should go to the YouTube video, then you should transcribe it, so then you have all the text, and then you need to put the text inside an AI tool. And with Custom GPT, you can just basically fill in the YouTube URL, it will be trained on it, and that will save you a lot of time. So here I'm in Custom GPT, and as you can see, I trained my chatbot on 10 videos that are on my own YouTube channel. So here I just fill in the URLs, and then it has been trained on that. And then if I go to Ask Me Anything, that's where we're going to talk with the chatbot, then I can just say, okay, can I connect my Facebook page to ManyChat? And this is something that I talked about in one of my earlier videos. And then it says to connect your Facebook page to ManyChat, you can follow these 2 main steps. And then it says step 1, create a ManyChat account and connect your Facebook page. And then 2, set ManyChat as the primary receiver for messages. And that's actually true. Those are actually the 2 steps that you can do. And what you can do also here is you can say whether this was a good response or whether this was a bad response. But there's no way we can revise this answer like we can do with Chatbase, and we can also not provide additional feedback. So again, this is a little bit more limited. And if you want to change these answers, you basically need to change either the training data, or you need to change the prompt that you're giving to your chatbot in Custom GPT. And just like with Chatbase and Cody, you can also train your chatbot on just text. So if you go to settings of your bot, then go to the data, then here you can have a sitemap. So a sitemap is basically a list of URLs. So this can be YouTube URLs, but can also be website URLs where you can train your chatbot on. You can upload files for the chatbot. So these can be video files, but also just like PDFs and documents. And then also here you have like the presence of your chatbot, how you handle the conversation, so the conversation settings, and also the custom persona. So you can give your chatbot a custom persona, like basically the system prompt, and then you can basically make the chatbot your own. And I think Custom GPT is great if you mainly want to have a chatbot that is trained on audio and video, but this also comes at a price, because Custom GPT is way more expensive than Cody and Chatbase. So the first plan of Custom GPT starts at $89 a month, and this plan is billed annually. So if you want to build it monthly, then it is $99 a month. And this comes with 10 custom chatbots. It comes with 5,000 items per chatbot and 60 million words stored. And this is actually a lot. Like, you can train your chatbot on a lot of data. But what isn't a lot is the number of GPT-4 queries that you get, because you only get 1,000 GPT-4 queries a month. And I think for $89 a month, that's not that much. And then you basically, pretty soon you already need to go to your next pricing plan, which is like $495 a month. And then you get 5,000 GPT-4 queries. So I think this is pretty good, but I think this is not that much. So again, like all these AI tools, they have their pros and cons, and you just need to look at which one is working for you. And for this price, you get a chatbot that you can publish on your website, publish on Slack, and also access via the API so you can connect it to other tools. But all the tools I've shared up until now are only focused on doing the AI part. You can basically train a knowledge base on your own data, and then it can automatically answer questions about it. But it might be that you are looking for a complete chatbot platform where you can also create your own conversation flows and where you can create your own chatbot flows. And if this is something that you are looking at, then you should have a look at VoiceFlow. So with VoiceFlow, you can create your own custom chatbot flows, but you can also use AI. So they also have knowledge base, intents, and entities. So here we are in VoiceFlow. And then here we have the workflows, and then when you click on the workflows, then VoiceFlow basically has a flow builder. So here you have all these different nodes that are part of something, and you can use this to like add text to your chatbot and ask questions, have buttons, capture responses, and let AI answer any questions. Like that's what you all can do inside that flow builder. And then also if you go back, then you can also train the chatbot on your own data. So if you go to knowledge, then basically you can train your chatbot on a website URL or on documents. So you can basically just add data sources, and then you can choose for text, files, URLs, a sitemap, or even an integration. And as you can see, I already trained the chatbot on the knowledge base document, and then I can just click on preview here, and then I can ask a question like, how can I track my order? And then it will automatically reply to that question. So then it will say, when your order is shipped from our warehouse, you will receive an email with a track and trace link. And then you can also use it inside your workflow. So if you go back and here, click on home, click on the edit workflow, then here you can just click on AI, and then here you have the response AI. So I just drag that over here. And then you can determine how you want to reply. So you can determine to just send something to an AI model, or you can say that you want to use the knowledge base. So you can determine the question that needs to answer, and you can also give any instructions. But aside from using the knowledge base, you can also have intents and entities. So if we go back again, then here we have intents and entities. So with intents, you can basically understand the intent of the user. So here, for example, you have the yes intent, which is like in your VoiceFlow account by default. And then if someone says yes or yay or yup or yep, it matches this intent. So you can basically ask a question to a user, and if they say something like yes or okay, then you can determine like if it matches this intent, then they go further inside this flow. And you can basically create intents for everything. You can also create intents for getting contact information, for getting information about the return policy, like all of that stuff. And then aside from that, you also have entities. So with entities, you can basically understand a specific part of a sentence. So for example, if someone says, I want to have a veggie pizza, then the AI can understand that veggie is the topping of the pizza. Like that's how entities work. So that's also something that you can have with VoiceFlow. And VoiceFlow actually has a really good pricing plan. So they offer a free plan, and this free plan already comes with 50 knowledge base sources per agent. It comes with 2 agents, and it comes with up to 200 million monthly AI tokens. And I think this is a lot. There's a lot that you get for free. And then once you go to the first plan, then you get a single editor with 200 knowledge base sources per agent, up to 20 agents, and you get up to 200 million monthly AI tokens. So again, I think this is a lot. There's a lot of value that you get for the price that you pay with VoiceFlow, but there's also a drawback. With VoiceFlow, you can only create a chatbot and add it on your website. If you want to create a chatbot and add it on more channels, you actually need to create a pretty advanced integration. So if you want to have an AI chatbot platform with these custom chatbot flows and AI tools, and also publish this on multiple channels, then you should have a look at BotPress. So I think there are 3 main differences between BotPress and VoiceFlow. I think the first difference is that VoiceFlow is more user-friendly. I think if you're just starting out with these chatbot platforms, I think it's way easier to use VoiceFlow than to use BotPress. BotPress has a higher learning curve. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is that BotPress has way more channels. You can publish a chatbot on your website, on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, like all of these different channels. And the third difference is that BotPress has more AI features. So let's have a look at those. So now we are inside the BotPress studio, and as you can see, BotPress also has a flow builder just like VoiceFlow has, and it has all of these different elements. So you can basically just add a card, and then you have all these different elements, a lot of them that basically VoiceFlow also has. But what's most interesting for now are the AI tools. So if you go to agents, then you can see all the agents that BotPress has. And I'll just quickly go over them. So first of all, they have the summary agent. So with the summary agent, the agent can automatically summarize any conversation. And this is great if you want to send a conversation to a human agent, or when you want to create a ticket out of it, then the summary agent can automatically summarize the complete conversation, which can actually save you a lot of time. Then we have the knowledge agent. So the knowledge agent is basically the knowledge base. So you can basically train your chatbot on a website or on documents, and then it can automatically answer any questions about it. And then here, if you go to the flows, then here you have your knowledge base. So here, for example, you can add your website, you can add documents, you can add tables, you can even search the web, or you can have just text there. And it's also good to know that with the knowledge agent, you can also use that inside your flows. So here you can have a thing that is called query the knowledge base, and then you can basically send something to the knowledge base and get a response back. So just like with VoiceFlow, you can also just use this inside your chatbot flows. So then we go back to the agents, and then we also have the personality agent. So with the personality agent, what BotPress will do is that it will rewrite each message of your bot to a certain personality. And I think this is great if you're like a creator or like a coach that is talking in a certain way, then BotPress can actually make sure that each message that's coming out of your bot is in a certain style. Then we have the translator agent. So with the translator agent, what BotPress will do is that it will translate each and every message to the language that the user is talking in. So for example, if your chatbot is only in English and your user is talking in French, then BotPress will automatically translate all of those messages to French, which is great. Like, this can actually save you a lot of money. Then you have Vision Agent. With Vision Agent, what you actually can do is you can ask for an image from your bot user, and then you can automatically describe that image and understand the image. And I think this is great if you have a business that is reliant on analyzing images, because then the AI can already do the work for you. And you also have the Hiddle Agent, and Hiddle Agent is the human in the loop agent, and this basically allows you to send over a conversation to a human agent. This is not an AI tool, but I just want to quickly talk about that, so we covered all of these agents. And then just like with VoiceFlow, then if you go to the library, then you also have the intent. So here you have the cancel intent, you know, the yes, and you also have these entities. So you can just add entities, for example, for the topping of a pizza, and then you also have that just like in VoiceFlow. And I also think BotPress has a very good plan. So they have a free plan, and this free plan comes with 5 bots. It comes with 2,000 incoming messages and events each month. It comes with 3 collaborators, 5,000 table rows, 100 MBs of vector database storage. So this is actually for your knowledge base, $5 of AI credits, and community support. And what I think is great about BotPress is that you can perfectly tailor a plan to your needs. So if you only need 1 bot more, you can just click on I need 1 bot more, and that's $1. Or you just need more incoming messages. So then you add 5,000 more messages, and then you need to pay an extra $10. This is great because you can use this to basically tailor the plan specifically to your needs. But there's also one drawback of BotPress, because if you want to create a chatbot and publish it on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp, that's actually pretty technical, because you need to create a Meta developer app. That app needs to be approved by Meta or by Facebook, and it actually takes a lot of time and is also pretty technical. So if you want to have a chatbot platform that also has some AI features and you want to launch it on one of the Meta channels, so Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp, I highly recommend using ManyChat. So ManyChat is a chat automation tool that I've been using for the last 5 years for almost all of my clients that are launching chatbots on Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And I've used ManyChat because I think it's very easy to use. It is 100% Meta approved, so you can use it on all of these Meta channels without the risk of getting banned. And also, it is pretty cheap. So now we are inside ManyChat, and just like VoiceFlow and BotPress, it also has a flow builder. So here you can just determine what message you want to send. So here you can send a message, you can collect user input, then here you can add a next step, you can add like emails, you can do actions, you can add conditions, you can do all of that stuff. And ManyChat also just launched their AI add-on. And with their AI add-on, I think there are three main features that are important. The first one are AI intents. So with AI intents, we can basically understand the intent of a user and automatically reply to it. Then they also launched the AI Flow Builder Assistant. So with the AI Flow Builder Assistant, what you can do is you can basically say to that assistant, hey, I want to have this type of flow. And then the assistant creates that automatically for you. And the last thing that they added is the AI step. So with the AI step, you can basically let the AI handle the conversation for you. So you can basically tell them, okay, this is the goal that you need to achieve. You need to achieve that in step 1, step 2, step 3. You need to collect this data, and then the AI will do that for you. And I actually have a separate video on my YouTube channel that covers the ManyChat AI add-on in depth because it's too much to cover in just this video. And ManyChat also has very good plans. So ManyChat has a free plan, but the pay plan already starts at $15 a month, and that goes up with the number of contacts that you have. So if you go to the bottom here, then for example, let's say you have 2,500 contacts, then it will cost you $25. And if you want the AI add-on, that will cost you an additional $29 a month. And that's it. Those are the best AI chatbot tools I would use in 2024. And in the description, I actually added all the links going to these tools, and I also added some discount codes that you can use to get started with them for free. And on my website, I also have a chatbot platform comparison table where you can look at all the different features that multiple chatbot platforms have and actually look at them and check which one is best for your needs. Because over the last 5 years, I've looked at hundreds of platforms and I've reviewed over 50 of them. And I can tell you one thing, there is no best chatbot platform. Each chatbot platform has its pros and cons, and you basically need to go with the one that is best for your needs. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. And as always, if you have any questions on creating chatbots or on choosing the best tool for your needs, please leave a comment below and I will reply as soon as possible.